Hi friends. I decided to put together a little video, a short yoga sequence that you can use to help just sort of channel any angst or anxiety that you may be feeling during this time. The yoga studio is a sacred place for all of us, and we are in a time right now where we have to take that sacred place inside into our own homes as we get through these rough patches. And so I just wanted to share my yoga practice with you today, and hopefully you can throw down your mat and just take a short little, maybe 15 or 20 minute break for yourself. So when you come to your mat, go ahead and stand at the front of the mat. You can bring your feet together or have them hip distance apart. So the way that I like to measure hip distance apart is I like to take 2 fist distance and just bring them between my 2 big toes. And you will notice that that's just about hip distance. Bring your hands together in front of the heart, close the eyes, take a breath in. As you exhale, soften the body. So you've got a straight spine, but everything that's draped over it is relaxed. Take your thumb tips, press them into your heart space. A slight lift to the elbows, roll the shoulders down the back. Press your feet into the earth so much that if somebody came over and gave you a little nudge, you would not move. You are super plugged in, grounded, stable, and anchored. Now from this place of stability, go ahead and breathe into your heart space. Exhale, imagine the breath going down into the roots, right through the bottom of your feet into the earth. Inhale into the heart. Exhale through the bottoms of the feet. And again, this is just a visualization. Fill the heart space with breath. Exhale through the soles of the feet. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale, plug in. On your next inhale, we'll circle the arms overhead. Maybe you look up at your thumbs. Exhale, pour forward with a straight spine. Tuck the chin when you get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, roll up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you get there, continue. Circle the arms overhead. Maybe a slight back bend. Lift the chest, gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Roll up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Once you get there, follow through with the arms. Lift through the heart, open the throat. Exhale, pour forward. Inhale, halfway lift, fill up. Exhale, fold. We're gonna step the right foot back. And what I'd like for you to do is just start to straighten and bend the front leg, any amount. So you can come all the way into a deep low lunge, and then all the way into a modified pyramid pose. Or you can take micro movements, just little tiny movements getting into the joints of the lower leg. So you've got the ankles, the knees, and the hips, and we're just working some energy into these spaces. Try to bring an organic movement into your posture. Right? So what does your intuition say? How does your body feel called to move? When you're ready, coming back into your low lunge, we're gonna walk over to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now what I like to do in these forward folds is interlace my fingers at the neck and just allow the weight of the hands to create a little traction here in the upper back and spine where so many of us hold tension. So you're not pulling or tugging, you're really just allowing the weight of your arms to create that extra layer of traction into the neck, into the entire spine really. As you release, press into the earth. Take your halfway lift, engage your lowest parts of the belly, and go ahead and walk over to the front edge of your mat. Low lunge. Exhale, plank pose. Just take one inhale breath in plank. Really press the mat away from you. Deep, deep breath in. And exhale, nice and slow with the elbows tucked in. We're gonna lower all the way down. Untuck the toes, spider up the fingers, and press lightly into the earth for Cobra. Now walk your hands back just a smidge. Go ahead and inhale, press maybe 25%. Exhale, lower down. And either passing through all fours or through plank into downward facing dog. And in this dog, go ahead and pedal your feet out, bringing any movement that feels, again, really natural and intuitive. Maybe you shift into plank pose and back into downward dog. Maybe you drop both heels to one side and then the other. And maybe you shake the head out or deep bend into the knees. Come high up to the tippy toes on an inhale breath. Exhale, drop the heels. And then inhale, come onto your tippy toes and go ahead and walk all the way to the front edge of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back this time. And find yourself into a low lunge. So if you ever feel like you wish the floor was closer to you, this is where you would use your blocks. You can bring your blocks, use that for support. And from this place, start to straighten and bend. This time the right leg. Maybe you close the eyes and you just sort of check in with the sensations that arise for you. Maybe you decide on micro movements or macro movements, big, long breaths, or small exploration type of patterns. You can kind of dig around and see what's going on in my physical body today. Next time you come forward, we'll walk over to the long edge of the mat. And this time, just simply bend and extend both legs, one at a time. Now you can keep the tail nice and high here, or you can go ahead and dip down. What does your body want today? Where are you going to get the maximum benefit? And sometimes that means doing less, right? When you're ready, you can walk over to the front edge of your mat, nice low lunge. Let's step back into plank. Exhale, lower down. So if you need to drop your knees, controlled lower down. Inhale, open the chest, any amount. Exhale, downward facing dog. So maybe passing through all fours this time and finding down dog. Take a cleansing breath in and a cleansing breath out. Let's walk forward to the front edge of your mat. Halfway lift, exhale, fold. Roll it up, 5, 4, 3, 2. Once you get there, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, coming right back down. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale. exhale, fold, step back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, let's lift the right leg up any amount. So you can keep your hips flat for a breath. And then if you want to add on, open the hip deeply so you can bend the knee. And now look and see where you're going. Plant the foot between the hands. Spin the back heel flat. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg, reach up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink down. Let's reach forward, reverse your warrior, and side angle pose. Forearm onto the knee, top arm overhead. Now if you have a lot of slack in the arm, you can reach down towards the earth. And if you want to try, maybe bringing the top arm overhead. And looking down, bring both hands inside the front foot for lizard lunge. So the right foot can shimmy out to the outer edge of your mat. The wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. And simply shift forward and back a little bit. And notice your hips sort of click back into place. From this position, drop the knee. And you can either stay here. If you want, you can walk your hands out, one hand's distance forward, and drop down onto the elbows. Take 3 of your deepest breaths. Pressing into the hands, we're simply going to take this right foot and shimmy it over across the mat for pigeon pose. So as you anchor down for pigeon, there should never be pain in the knee. If there is pain in the knee, you can take reclined pigeon. But for pigeon pose, look back, make sure your leg shoots straight out of your hip behind you. You've got this solid base, solid foundation. And what I like to do is sort of spider up my fingers and just start to fold and inhale, extend. Puff your chest up, open the throat, lift. Exhale, pour the heart forward. One more, just like that. Use your arms to press up, get a little length, and then bring that length with you as you come down into your pigeon pose. I personally like to come down onto my forearms first, and then sort of take a little bit of an inventory as to what I'm working with today. And from this place of sort of an exploration, maybe you move a little bit in left to right, or you sort of navigate through the shoulders, the hips. If your breath is free and your breath is pretty open and relaxed, you can go ahead and reach further forward. It may feel nice to stack your hands, maybe rest your forehead onto the hands. And take 3 deep breaths. On your next inhale, go ahead and press into the hands. And then just sit down on the long edge of your mat. So I'll turn around to face the camera. But you will be sitting on the long edge of your mat. Left leg is extended, right knee is bent. Now take a moment and really plug your sit bones into the earth. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, let's lean left. Gentle side stretch. So what you don't want to do in this position is this. You don't want to do this. Imagine there was a wall behind you and you could bring both shoulders back up against the wall behind you, the top arm is just an extension of the spine, right? So it's just, the spine is nice and long, the arm is the follow through. As you inhale, we're gonna pivot, anchor the right hand behind you, and peel open, back bend. Exhale, come back down to center. Good. So come forward to the front edge of your mat and we'll step back, downward dog. Pedal the feet in place. Eventually coming to stillness, this time the left leg lifts, keeping the hips nice and flat. And then we'll follow through, bend the knee, open the hip any amount. And look and see where you're going. You're gonna anchor the foot between the hands, spin the back heel flat, warrior two. Straighten both legs, arms lift, exhale, sink down. One more inhale breath. Exhale, soften and release. Let's reverse the warrior. I think I'm doing this one backwards, but that's okay. Back to warrior two. Not worrier, warrior. The more, we're all worrying a little bit right now, huh? Reach forward, anchor the forearm down, top arm overhead. You can also drape the bicep over in line with the ear. If there's some slack in the arm, maybe you reach for a block or all the way down towards the earth. Looking down, both hands come inside the front foot. Shimmy the left foot over to the long edge of your mat. And go ahead and shoot forward and back a little bit. Just notice that you can get a solid foundation. Drop the back knee. And this might be plenty. Just breathe here. You can also experiment untucking the toes. Maybe you walk the hands forward. Inhale, exhale, coming down onto the forearms. Take 3 breaths here. Press into the hands, and then we'll simply shimmy the foot across the mat and settle in. So again, take a couple of moments to really check the whole situation out. You want to look at this back leg. Is it shooting straight out of the hip? Sometimes this leg wants to do one of these, where it's completely out of alignment. See that you can bring your leg straight back. Now the front leg, it just depends on flexibility, right? So if you're a little tighter in the hip, the ankle can go right under the belly button. Okay, once your hips start to open, you may have an L shape here. Your shin might be parallel to the front edge of your mat, or you may be somewhere in the middle. So as you tent up your fingers, inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, pour the heart forward. Inhale, extension. Make the space for the breath to come in. And then as you exhale, really deeply surrender. Last inhale breath, get a lot of length. And you're gonna bring that length with you as you fold. Maybe pausing here on your forearms. Check in. What's going on back there? What are we working with? And explore. Start to really explore. Shift a little bit left, shift a little bit right. conscious, intentional movements. And if you find the body gives you a little bit of space, your breath is free, then either, maybe you walk the hands out. Maybe you create a little pillow with your hands. Try to relax the shoulders. Try to relax the jaw and all of the muscles of the face. Take 2 more of the deepest breaths you've got. And only when you feel ready, walk the hands underneath the shoulders, use your arms to press up. And go ahead and sit down on the long edge of your mat. So with the left heel in and the right leg extended this time, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, reach over to the right. And so catch anything. You can catch your shin, your ankle. You can find your foot maybe from the inside. Again, making sure you're not caving in. See that you can deeply shine your heart up towards the ceiling and let the arm be the final extension of the pose. If your neck is a little cranky, you can look down or forward. Let's inhale, rise up, anchor the left hand behind you, and open into your back bend. Coming back down to center, anchor the hands at the front edge of your mat and shift back into your down dog. And do whatever it takes to unwind from those postures. I like to swivel my hip left to right. You may feel good opening up the hip. And doing both sides. Maybe you kick the leg a little or let it fly up back there. All right, from here, walking down onto the knees. Let's come into a high kneeling position. And again, measuring 2 fist distance. So you can bring 2 fists between the knees. Make sure your knees are directly underneath the hips. And now bring your hands onto your sacrum and press your hips forward. Squeeze the elbows back. Look up. Breathe into that space between the heart and the throat. It's the highest extension of the lift of camel pose. So as you send your pelvis forward, you lift all of this and open through. Tuck the chin. Come into cat-cows, rounding the spine and arching the spine. So come into cat pose and cow pose. From here, cross at the ankles and roll onto a simple seated position. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. I like to help my hips closer to my heels. With a nice straight spine, go ahead and interlace your fingers underneath your pinky toe edge of your foot, and then straighten your spine so much that your arms go straight. Imagine you can pull your chest through your arms. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend at the elbows. Keep your spine nice and long. Maybe with each breath, you come down maybe 1/2 inch or 1 inch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Now take your feet, move them out about a foot, just so that you're in a diamond shaped position. And you can either catch your ankles or you can weasel your arms underneath for a little bit of a modified turtle pose. And in this one, we are gonna round our back. So allow yourself to just simply drape over the legs. Tuck the chin in towards your sternum. And breathe into the back body. So many of us hold tension here in the back body. See that you can let your shoulder blades really sort of soften away from one another. And as you breathe deeper and your ribs expand, you will get a deep stretch and an opening in the upper back. Gently unwind, undo the arms, draw your knees together. And bring your feet about as far apart as the edges of your mat. Simply drop the knees left to right. And the next time you drop your knees to the right, follow through with the upper body for a twist, looking over the right shoulder. And maybe you spider up your fingers and crawl them a little further over to the right. Coming back to center, drop the knees to the left. And follow through with the upper body. Maybe spidering up the fingers, keeping your spine nice and long. So use your arms to press up and twist. Nice inhale breath, coming back to center. And simply scoot forward on your mat and come onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And we'll pass through bridge pose. We'll take 3 rolling bridges, is what I like to call them. So your feet are hip distance apart. Your knees are pointing straight up. They're hip distance apart. Palms down next to your sides. Go ahead and roll the shoulder blades underneath. And as you inhale, you're gonna peel the pelvis and spine up off the earth and your arms as well. Exhale, lower down. Good, let the entire inhale be the movement. So once your inhale ends, you reach the top. Let the entire exhale bring you down. Back to start position. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Let your knees rock left to right. Let's gently tick-tock. Also called windshield wipers in Sanskrit. And for the inversion of this practice, I'm simply going to guide you into sleeping tiger. So bringing the soles of your feet over your hips, wrists over the shoulders. So you don't want to reach up, you really want to allow your shoulders to press down into the earth. And you've got a solid base with your hips anchored, your shoulders anchored, and the blood is coming back to the heart. So we'll take about 8 breaths here. An option for this pose is to bring a block and bring it underneath your sacrum. You can also use a folded up mat or towel and bring it underneath your sacrum for just a little bit more elevation of the hips. You can come into plow pose or shoulder stand. And wherever you find yourself for your inversion, headstand, handstand, see that you are taking the deepest, most full breaths that you are capable of. This will help calm your nervous system. This will help oxygenate all of the blood and nourish every part of your body. Inversions are also known to be anti-aging. They help balance the hormones according to many texts. And it really is so therapeutic to go against gravity when we're standing all day, really, to give that, that change in perspective and that shift in the body. Turn it upside down and shift your perspective. So once you feel like you're complete in your inversion, I'll guide you to bend your knees, hug them into your chest, and then bring the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to drop down on towards the earth. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And start to really plug into the breath. Notice which hand moves more, the one on your belly or the one on your chest. Can you breathe so deeply that the belly expands more than the chest? Notice if your inhales and exhales have the same texture. Do they have the same cadence? Try to match the timing of your inhale to the same timing of your exhale. Notice if you're holding any tension. Sometimes the jaw is a really sneaky place where we hold tension. So separate your teeth. Don't let your bottom teeth touch your top teeth. See if you can relax all of the muscles of the face. Melting away all of the masks that we wear on a daily basis. Completely neutral face. You may feel very comfortable here, and you are welcome to stay in this position, or you can shift into traditional Shavasana with the palms face up at your side and your legs extended. And maybe you take some time finding a prop, maybe a little something under your knees or a little something under your head. Whatever it takes so that you can be here completely still. Completely relaxed. So in Shavasana, there is nothing to fix. There is nothing to change. In Shavasana, we don't even control the breath anymore. You are completely surrendered to the process, and you allow yourself to receive the benefits of your practice. So for the sake of this video, I'll go ahead and play the bowl for you as you take your final relaxation. Shavasana for as much time as you feel that you need. If you are ready to come out of Shavasana, just simply take a deeper breath. Bring your awareness back into your body, back into the room. And I'll encourage you to keep your mental and emotional body in Shavasana. So we're only waking up the physical body, bringing small movements into the fingers and toes, and eventually shifting into fetal pose on the right side or on the left side. And as you come into your fetal pose, just take one more opportunity to draw your attention into your heart space. Take a breath in and a breath out. And on your next inhale, you can come into a simple seated pose into Sukhasana. Maybe you stack your hands over your heart or bring your palms together in front of your heart. Just take a couple moments of gratitude, thinking about some of the things that you might be grateful for. From this place of deep gratitude, my wish for you is that you may be happy, may you be healthy and well, may you be safe and protected, may you be free from suffering and all of the causes of suffering, may you be kind and compassionate and always at peace. May all beings everywhere be happy, may they be healthy and safe, may they have compassion and always be at peace. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this practice. This is my first online yoga practice that I'll be sharing, and depending on how this situation in the world pans out, there may be a lot more of this digital interaction. So thank you for chiming in, and take good care of yourself.